Okay, so I'm probably live right now. I say probably simply because, oh yeah, there is a delay. So there are a couple of minutes delay. That's why you might not be able to see me right now, but you'll see me in the future. Anyway, so first of all, I have to apologize because, well, my voice is pretty bad. I've been sick for the last 3 days, but paracetamol is my best friend now, and I feel better, but I'm still eating like this candies for my throat, and yeah, my voice might be a few decibel lower, not just a few hertz, also lower. Anyway, here we are to watch together the finals of the World Cup. Jewdoka, Aenorman43. Jewdoka, aka Joe Schultz, 3-time world champion, and Aenorman, aka Alex Norman. Never been world champion, and as far as I know, never been to a final or semi-final or quarter-final. I can't remember, but no, I don't think so. So, I'm live. Yes, now I'm live officially. Let's see. I can see my own live video. I assume my audio is working. Is working well, but I would appreciate if someone tell me if it's working or not. Let me see. If I go on my own page, right? I'm live, yes. One person is watching. Who is that person? Come in. If you're watching, write your name in the chat. Show yourself. So, as usual, I will have on the right the analysis window where I'll discuss the game as it goes. And on the left, we'll have the area where the game is live streamed. Of course, there's nothing at the moment, it's just my desktop because we're waiting for the player to come in and start. And they will enter in room. Well, first I have to enter here. You can't see it, but yeah, still 10 minutes to go, so some time. Can you hear me okay? Backgammon Finesse. Are you a backgammon channel by any chance? I know it's hard to interact when there's a minute delay, but I have played backgammon a few times. It's not one of my favorite games because there's a bit of chance, but at some point I was dating a girl who was into backgammon, and she was could play quite well, and I was trying to learn a bit. But yeah, in the end, I haven't played any officially any tournament or anything like that. Sorry. Also, a few times you will see me using my tissue to blow my nose. I know it's not very exciting, but this is what's gonna happen. So, a few facts about this final that you're gonna see now. Well. I don't know what to tell you. They're both from United States, which is actually interesting. I was hoping till the very end that at least one European would get to the final, but unfortunately, no Chigi or Happy Kiwi could make it. Chigi was defeated in the last game by Jewdoka. and Happy Kiwi was defeated by Aenorman. So this is it. And I was defeated by Happy Kiwi, so nothing to do this year. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, like what city they're from. Also, I have to admit my knowledge of American and United States geography is pretty bad. Probably as bad as Americans' knowledge of European geography. Many times there is the stereotype that people in the States, they don't know anything about geography in Europe, which is probably true, but I have to say it's probably the same for us. Maybe a bit less, but I don't know much. So let me see if I have some information about these people. Hello, puzzle party. Smart, welcome to the party. Because this is a party. This is gonna be very fun. We're gonna talk about in a little bit. But let me see if I can find other information about these two finalists. Well, Jewdoka doesn't need much presentation, but his name comes from his passion for judo, the martial art. Not because he's Jewish, as far as I know. I don't know actually, but and let's see, Alex Norman instead. I'm just looking at my database of the player who registered for the World Cup. Also, stay with me because I'm gonna give some more info about the calendar of tournaments we're gonna have in 2024. I don't have much information. I only know he's a logistics analyst, and many years ago, his aunt got a Hive-based game to them for Christmas. And that's how he got into Hive. That's it. So, not much else to say. Since you have been in the UK, have you picked up cryptic crosswords from the daily newspaper? No, actually. No, I haven't. I don't do much crosswords. I should because actually it's pretty fun, but I don't do it very often. Is it something famous in the UK? Yes, backgammon is one of the world's greatest abstract games. I suppose, yeah, it's gonna be addictive. I'll start at some point to be addicted to. I have so many games I want to be addicted to be honest. Now I registered to the TAC championship. Don't know if you know about TAC. It's pretty fun. But yeah, I will need to study that as well. I'll need a lot of time to study all sorts of games. 90% of my time is probably spent playing Hive and promoting Hive. Anyway, so who goes white in the first game? So let's talk about serious stuff now. Alex Norman will play white in the first game. They're playing a match of 6 games, so best of 6. 30 minutes plus 30 seconds. So it's pretty. Usually the games go around 1 or 2 hours. We'll see. Sometimes games are shorter, sometimes games are very long because of end games. But there's enough time for both players to actually think properly and calculate everything, almost everything, in advance. So let's see. Should we predict some opening? Well, what I can say that Jewdoka usually prepares the opening pretty well. He is known for coming up with some surprises during matches. So he tries not to play the same opening all the time, at least try not to be very predictable, which is always a good thing in a match. He has favorite openings, of course. I will say that he plays very often Ladybug and then Ant, and then a quick Ant attack or compound attack. And he favors probably Z openings. But we will see. Another interesting fact actually is that they are teammates. They have been teammates in this year Fair Play Cup. They played in the same team, Budskill. Joe, and Alex, which means they know each other pretty well in terms of play, right? So we'll see what kind of. I expect they will come up with something different, some surprise in the opening already. Alex, I think Alex has a more positional style, a more control style. He has been playing, I think, buffer openings quite a lot lately, and with good results. He's playing white now. I think he might play buffer as white as well. It's becoming very popular, this system with Ladybug, Mosquito, and Ant in a hub, and then you complete the pocket with another Ant, basically. I've been playing this for a long time. Well, not a long time, but a couple of years maybe. And I like it very much. But we'll see. Maybe it will be actually Alex who will, for the first time, like surprise Joe. We'll see who's gonna surprise the other one first. Just one more thing. Maybe I should share this on Reddit, on other places, just so that people know that this is going on. They should start very soon, by the way. There's so Alex is already in the lobby, but Joe is not there yet. So we'll see. Hive World Cup. Let me write a post quickly. What else? Do you have any particular question? Let me know. I will, as I mentioned, I will explain a bit better what are the plans for 2024. I'm in the committee and in the World Cup committee, and we have 2 new members, and they both it's pretty I don't know, pretty ironic. They both semi-finalists of this year World Cup 2023, and they're both been eliminated. Chigi, aka Oliver, and Oliver Neckes, I think, and Happy Kiwi, aka Patrick. So 2 more European members of the committee. Wait, sorry, just a second. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, Jewdoka is here as well. And so we have now 6 members in the committee. We've been discussing quite a few changes and for next year World Cup format. The most important thing at the moment, like I can say now, I will say a bit more later, is that the Fair Play Cup has been announced again. This is technically not part of the committee, but Chigi, together with Laci of the Hungarian Hive Club, they have been organizing this since 2021. It's the first team tournament, Hive team tournament. It takes around 3-4 months to play. It's a Swiss tournament, 6 rounds. Every team is made of 3 or 4 players at max, and it's pretty fun. Last year, well, like this year, they have been how many, like 15 teams, something like that. So quite a lot of people, like around 50 people in total. Let me put here, sorry, in the meanwhile, they just started. Okay, so I hope it's okay and you can see what's happening. Yeah, I think so. All good. So it's pretty fun, and I really recommend to play. Even if you don't have a team, you can find a team. There is a spreadsheet. Probably share something on in the chat later. There is a spreadsheet where you can actually look for a team if you don't have one. Sorry, let me put this. Okay, this is fine. And so yeah, it's very fun. I played with an Italian team last year. I tried to put together an Italian team. Didn't go too bad. And they won. And so who was the winner this year? With the Tamanduas, the South American team. Pretty strong. Actually, okay, as I was expecting, Alex is playing this this buffer system, and I'm pretty sure Jewdoka like knew about this, like was expecting this. But anyway, let me know how the audio, how is my audio? If you can hear me, okay. But he has counterattacked very quickly. This is, to be honest, quite unusual. I mean, sorry, apologies. You can say that one of the problems of the buffer opening is that in the long run, the shape of the hive is a bit more stretched. So if you put one of your pieces at the end and you cap, then you keep the shape stretched. But it's probably a bit too early to do that. White has got older ant power in place. On the other hand, I really don't believe that Jewdoka is not prepared for this. So this must be his preparation. I don't think he has just played this, you know, as a... It's not improvised. I'm pretty sure it's not improvised. So, well, let's see what happened. But, like, from White perspective, I wouldn't be very worried. I would just continue probably to play another ant here. Of course, black could shift the pin and get a compound attack here, but I'm not really sure this is particularly... It's true that white doesn't have many more good spawn points around here. They're all a bit far. He should go for something like this, probably. Alternative is for white to play Pillbug, right? Create also this kind of pocket for the white ant number 1, but I don't know, I'm not very... I'm not very convinced, to be honest. Okay, everything is okay, fine in the live stream. Okay. Well, let's talk about this. Another option for white would be to cap the ant here to prevent, or the other ant, to prevent anything to be spawned here. Alex decided to go for this, which achieved basically the same thing. Actually, the spider would pin back the black ant here, And notice that whatever is pinned here, this is very strange. Like playing this aggressively as black, it's very uncommon. Um, which I mean, I don't. He's been world champion 3 times, so he knows a few things more than me. But I still believe it's a bit problematic. Very interested me. I'm very interested as well. Also, I'm actually very happy if the game becomes quite you know, aggressive and sharp. It's more fun to watch. So now white has to decide how to pin the beetle, because I assume this is what you should do. I don't think actually you're right. From my perspective, I would be very worried because this attack doesn't make sense. So surely we must be missing something. That's the thing. I mean, he has won a world championship 3 times. So unless he just went nuts, and I don't know, he just woke up with bad mood today, there must be something he really has seen. Another idea could be just that black, you know, it's becoming very hard to win as black, right? Lately, and as at this level, I mean, if you play in the top 8 players, and so maybe the idea is, if he's pretty confident he can win as white, which to be fair, I'm not. I mean, he's good, he's very strong, but Alex as well is pretty strong, so maybe the idea is just, okay, I'll go for something very aggressive as black, and then as white I'm gonna win. That I have nothing to lose, you know what I mean? It's playing very fast as well. So at this point we have a typical idea where the mosquito will be converted into a beetle. Although it's not probably, in this case, I wouldn't be worried too much because white could just place a beetle here. So I think it might be more dangerous to play something like this to choke the queen. Now the white queen doesn't have any place where to put a pillbug. I mean, I'm not saying this is necessarily the best, especially because white still has an ant in play. But I still like white position, but I think it's more my style. I think I prefer to defend. So I pretty confident about white position. So okay, he converted into a beetle quickly. I mean, it's a very typical maneuver, but it's also, I think, not likely to work in a very short run. So instead of placing the beetle, which I think could have been actually quite common response, he goes for pinning the mosquito. They're both playing pretty fast. I'm surprised by. I mean, I guess Jewdoka has prepared this, but Alex is also playing quite fast. Sorry, I need to blow my nose a second. Amazing. If you have just joined, the problem is that I've been sick for the past 2 days. So, but I couldn't miss this. I definitely couldn't miss this. Okay, let's try to understand now. What was Black plan? He has sacrificed the beetle in order to convert the mosquito. The mosquito is stuck here. What else? Black could place another ant. It seems a sensible move. The point is that white can't. I mean, it could potentially shift the pin, but then would be pretty good for black. Now it has two direct drops, and yeah, now I like in black position. I think this move would be like the expected move. And then how will black continue the attack? Another beetle here would not work because of this. Of course, black can sacrifice another ant, but at this point, the attack becomes a bit too aggressive and too much material is sacrificed. So I wouldn't like it. I don't think Joe will. I think Joe plays this sacrifice for a more long-term pressure. Okay, the ant goes here. Instead of there, I guess is less likely to be attacked by the spider here, probably. White has quickly put a pill bag. Oops, sorry. Quickly put a pill bag here. Sorry, I'm trying to. Cause I. Damn it. Okay, I'm trying to not click on my bar. Okay. So I think this is definitely the turning point of the game. Black has to find a good plan, otherwise white will win in the long run. There's nothing else. I mean, it's not as easy, of course, but it's a Z structure, it's quite stretched. Okay, this makes sense. The idea is to control this spawn point here. This is the main idea, because placing another piece here would free the white mosquito. And then once the white mosquito is free, white can more comfortably control the game. At the same time, it keeps both the spider and the mosquito pinned. I mean, white has this move that threatens to throw the black ant into the pit here and change the structure of the hive. At the same time, white would have a mosquito acting like a pill bug here, so it'll still be safe. There is this move potentially, although black, like the idea is simply to move the queen out and keep the mosquito here pinned and free the, like moving the queen here in order to pin the mosquito and free the white ant. So a sort of pin replacement. Actually, should I? Oh, maybe this is nice, having the last move. Oops, sorry. This was last move. Do you like with the arrows, or you prefer? I think it's more clear with arrows, right? So everyone knows what was the last move played. Actually, no, I should put it here. Okay, so this is better. Maybe in the analysis not needed. But anyway. This was last move played. This is a pretty good improvement by Dave Dyer on board space, I think. I would probably like more arrow that goes all around the hive, but it's not needed. Anyway. What else white can do here? Another idea is trying to put pressure on black, playing this, with the idea of getting over here with a spider, and then using it as an anchor to attack with the beetle. I think it's a sensible idea. Of course, black can again push another beetle here, and now white has to find a way to I mean, it could pin the beetle using the ant, but probably now would be a good time for black to sacrifice an ant here. I actually don't like that. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow, we have a carbon version as well. Oh my god, it's very weird, but no, okay. No, I think we don't need the last move here. I think it's not. I like it here on the live stream, but not here on the analysis board. So this would free a beetle for black. The problem again is white has to free this mosquito. So maybe at some point something like this would work. Maybe this first. And then we will just repeat the position, I guess. Oh, this is here. This goes here. I mean, there is always this game going on between black trying to free a beetle with a fill, sacrificing an ant, so basically exchanging an ant for a beetle. And maybe here could make sense, because white is a bit under pressure. I don't know if it's enough to win, but there's a bit of pressure for sure. This is actually quite interesting, because the more I play Hive and the more I think black should defend, or at least very early attacks are not very likely to succeed, especially if you play black. But Jewdoka style, which is a bit more aggressive, maybe would prove this wrong. So okay, if white doesn't want to get into this aggressive, like into the very defensive position, he has to move around the pieces here. This one was the first move that came to my mind. I guess black would play this, which I didn't consider. How white is gonna free this mosquito? It needs to move the spider first. And then this. I don't know this. I don't know if I like it though. Okay, so Alex went for another variation that I actually mentioned. The idea of freeing the queen. I mean, there are different ideas. Pillbug can also throw this ant away. But I think moving the queen away here would be a bit more, like, it would give a bit more advantage in the long run for an end game. So what's black plan now? I would move the ant again to prevent the queen from moving here, but this means moving another piece, like the same piece another time, right? So losing some tempo. But it's probably necessary. The question is where. So pinning this ant, pinning the other ant. This ant is, of course, more seems more natural because the ant number 1 is just pinning the beetle, so it is not going anywhere. The other option is what Jewdoka is thinking of right now, is actually keeping the white queen in place here. But yeah, okay, also that the move we were analyzing before. I would say here is not really, it's not gonna work because white would just shift the pin. And now really black has got basically all ants and beetles. No, well, has still one beetle, but doesn't have much ant power and doesn't have any spawn points here. Like there's nothing around here to attack. And it hasn't qualified for the win, right? So if the white pillbug is not neutralized, there's not much to do. So I wouldn't like this. I think, yeah, this makes more sense to keep a bit of ant control. right? Actually, at this point, black has a decent ant control, but white also frees, like, has a spawn points, a nice spawn points here that can use for a beetle, for example. And at this point, I think, yeah, white is okay. I think white is pretty safe at this point. With the idea also of marching on top of the hive. Hey, there's an arrow here. Of marching on top of the hive, and here. Can I put another one? Yeah, here. And then here. Or, well, I mean, you know what I mean. That's clear, actually. Okay. So Jewdoka hasn't played yet, but as you know, in board space you can show the move you're playing, even if your opponent hasn't played yet, hasn't clicked on the done button. On the new platform that has been developed, hopefully it's gonna be working next year, and on Lichess, this is not possible actually. You can't show what you're playing. On one hand, I mean, it makes sense. It's more realistic because during a game, you can actually, over the board, you can actually see where your opponent is moving using their hand. Although even over the board, you can't really move a piece and then put it back, right? That's not allowed. If you touch a piece, you have to move it in most of the tournaments for competitive mind sports. So Jewdoka has this kind of trick where he put a piece in a certain position. Of course, it helps with the calculation, but sometimes because you see the piece actually there, you don't have to. You basically save one position in your mind. So you have to calculate a sequence that is one move shorter, basically. But I think there's also a psychological component, and Jewdoka does it on purpose to just put piece there and wait. Hi everyone. For the newcomers, I forgot your name. I'm terrible, but anyway, if it's your first time, tell me your name, tell me why you're here. If it's not your first time, tell me why you came back. I think watching on YouTube is more, it's easier than watching on board space, and that's one of the problems of board space, unfortunately. But that's why I'm here as well, because we will watch and commentate together. So, what do you think Jewdoka is gonna do now? He's been thinking now for 2-3 minutes. And yeah, it's probably thinking between trying to decide between this move and this move. I would think it's more safe this, although this makes more pressure, and as said before, controls the spawn points here. That could be quite handy for white. The problem of this move is, though, that white can potentially force black to repeat. Of course, white doesn't want to repeat because, especially in a match at this level, you want to take advantage of the fact you have white, right? You play white. So I think this would be a good result for black. Oh, okay. So black played actually that move, and yeah, I will say, yeah, white doesn't allow for repetition, but actually Alex is trying to control everything. Control the ants of their opponent as much as possible. Now I'm really curious to understand how black will continue here. I mean, there is potentially another beetle to sacrifice, but like a move like this one would really make hard for black to qualify for the win. How is gonna neutralize the pillbug now? There's no way. Even placing the pillbug here with the idea of freeing it later, it takes too long, I think. So let's see what Jewdoka has in mind. He must have something in mind, I assume. Also, at the same time, in Barcelona, Spain, they're playing a Hive tournament over the board at the festival, DAO Festival, which is a big board game festival, and there were around 18 players sign up, so pretty excited about it. And speaking of, oh, actually, the pieces, like my face is covering the pieces. Sorry, I don't know why. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like this. Okay. Speaking of over the board tournaments, Randy is going to run a tournament in the US. So if you're in the US and you're gonna go to Gen Con or to Dice Tower East in Florida, there'll very likely be a tournament next year. Interesting. What is this spider doing here? Wow, this is quite unusual. What's happening if white shift the pin simply? Is a black trying to create some ring? I would say it doesn't work, right? Because after this, white is definitely better. While black can try to free the beetle, filling this kill spot, but then again, white could warp the queen away. So after this move, which seems actually the most natural to me, what's black plan? Is it trying to sacrifice? Oh, sorry. Is it trying to sacrifice another beetle in a better position? But I don't really understand. I think white can easily pin all the beetles, and then rings, but it's not enough really. Even if he gets one beetle on top of the hive, I'm still considering white in a better position. So he actually played that. He played this move. Oh, wow. Wow, okay, after this move, I really don't know what's black. What can black play? Oh, white has ignored completely that. Interesting. And he just goes for counterattack. Well, the idea is to pin replace or at least cover the black hand somehow, free the white hand, and then use the beetle to neutralize the pillbug. The point is more, is it the right time to do it or not? Huh. Also, hope they're not gonna stretch the hive even more, because I don't know where it doesn't fit in the screen. So this would be okay, I think. But then white will have this spawn point for the beetle. White has got 4 pieces in reserve and black 5. So maybe black is not very short on pieces. The black hand is still there. I think he is considering the spawn point very important, so he just doesn't want to let the mosquito go away. And what is black? Oops, what black played instead is spider here with the idea of pinning the beetle. Of course, the beetle has to go on top, otherwise there's not much to do. Spider pins here. Okay. Ciao, ciao Damiano. I'm glad there are some Italians. By the way, speaking of which, I don't know if you heard me before. They want to play in the Fair Play Cup in the team tournament from January. I'm trying to put together another Italian team. So applications are open. No, I mean, it doesn't have to be a national team, okay? So you can play with whoever. But I would like to increase and enlarge the Italian Hive community. And one of the best ways probably just to create a team and we can play together, do some training together. I can coach, let's say, the Italian team. Anyway, so I expect white to go here and black to pin the ant. I mean, black is not in a very bad position, but Alex is pretty good in end games, and I think this won't be like an easy end game for black. White will qualify for the win, but I think black's point is that there is an anti-spawn set up here, so it's not a big deal if a beetle stays on top. And the black hand here is pinned by the white hand. This white ant is free to move, actually. I will think of something like this. Although now black starts to enjoy a bit of control. Also, there is an idea in the long run of placing a hopper here and move it here in order to free the beetle. Can give you details about the other players if you're still needing it. Yeah, sure. Thank you, John. You were in the same team, right? This year. Because the first year I actually played together with John, aka Apollo, in the Viking, and we actually won the Fair Play Cup first year. But then the Viking just broke up like a band. We actually had a lot of arguments. No, I'm kidding. Nothing happened. We wanted to create different teams and have different experiences. So we went into different teams. I created this, well, together with other people, I played in this Italian team, Scarafons, which is, if you know Italian, is a cute way to say beetle. John, I think, played in the Buzzkills together with Alex and Joe. So yeah, if you have other details you want to share, sure. Okay, let's go back. This was an hypothetical variation that I thought would be. But okay, so I think white now started to feel a bit not uncomfortable, but if black stretches the hive too much and keeps good control over the ants, then I think it becomes pretty hard to win for white. Maybe that was black plan, actually, being aggressive and then at some point stretching the hive. So white plays spider here with the idea of pinning the black ant here. Notice that black is not like in a rush to pin the ant here because the ant is covered by the beetle. So whenever the beetle move, the spider will pin the ant. So black has an extra move here to think about. The game is turning into a positional control game. I mean, from the kind of opening and structure, I wouldn't have thought of a sharp game. Uh, that's why I was surprised that Jewdoka was playing for a quick attack. Because also the shape of the hive was not very like typical of like you have an anti-spawn here, you have a buffer here, Z, which means the hive is already stretched. So I would say unless one or two players play something like some inaccurate move, then a positional game, a control game is more likely. And there are no rings, for example, which in a way makes it a bit more boring. But not every game can have rings, of course. So, what is black gonna do here? The spider will pin here. I suppose black is gonna leave the ant here. Because moving the ant, I mean, it could control the other ant here. But now white would have the mosquito free. And white will have probably a little bit more control, just a tiny bit. I'm not sure if it's enough, but I mean, Alex is a very good control player, so I would be a bit worried about this. Also, another like nuance is should black pin or could black pin here or here? Because I was just looking at this variation and then I thought, oops, so black here, spider here. I was just thinking that placing a hopper over here for white would actually be in the right line of attack, which is something sometimes you don't realize. I realize only later. Anyway, I think this spawn point here is too important for white, and it's probably worth for black to keep the ant here. White can still free the mosquito, but it will require at least two, 3 extra moves. I think one idea is to get the spider over here. Where's the triangle? So pin the ant, drop the pill bug into the X spot, and then place another piece there in order to free the mosquito. It costs some material, but as long as the 3 black pieces here are blocked in a string, I think white is has a better perspective of the end game. Let me clear here. The point is, how is black gonna react to this? Maybe sacrificing another beetle is not a bad idea. If white pins, then black will get back control on the ant, as we said. And yeah, even after this, there is a way for black to free the beetle. I'm just trying a sequence that could be no, actually, let's skip the pill bug here. Let's just use the hopper. Okay, beetle on top. Who's better here? Good question. It's a bit drawish. I don't know if one of the two players will be able to succeed here. Sorry. Another news about the calendar 2024. We have been discussing about the World Cup format. It's not decided yet 100%, but I think I can give you this rumor, this spoiler. If you have been following the World Cup, there are different ways to qualify. So the first way is the top 8 player from the previous World Championship, the previous World Cup. They qualify automatically. The second way to qualify is BGA ELO. So the top 6-8 player, depends, they qualify for the World Cup as well. And there used to be 2 tournaments, one on BGA turn-based and one on board space real-time, and the top 8-10 players, depends, 8 or 12, sorry, at least this was the approach this year, and they all together form a 32 player World Cup. Oh wow, there's something kind of unexpected here. Let's see. Why the spider over here? He really wants to control the spawn point? No, it's already controlled by the ant. I'm not sure what's the problem. What's the idea? I freeze the ladybug, but what is the ladybug gonna do? Interesting. Very curious to see. So this year probably we're not gonna have a BGA turn-based tournament. So if you want to qualify, either you need a good elo or you have to play the qualifier on the board space real time. Is a 2-game match every 10 days, which is actually not too bad. We just hope to encourage more and more players to play real time on board space and then the new platform later on. But more info will come soon, very soon. So Alex, oh, thank you, John, for the information. So Alex is based in Pittsburgh, in Steel City in central eastern Pennsylvania. I think, John, you could have been a good co-host for this streaming. Maybe you want to jump in. He took some time off and came back last year. Yeah, I remember he has been playing for some time, but then he stopped and he came back last year. And yeah, so he's part, as I remember well, of the team Bad Skills with Joe, John, Sandal, and Iral Duke. And I think they did quite well, actually. I think they got 4 points out of 6. It was a Swiss tournament, right? 6 rounds. Oops. And the winner, the Tamanduas, they won with 4.5 points. So just half a point ahead of other few teams. Just to say that the competition was very balanced and very tough. Okay, so the spider is pinning the ant. Okay, I'm very curious to understand what's Jewdoka's plan now. Is it try to... I mean, the beetle could be placed here now. It's a sort of pseudo pocket, because now that the spider is here, there's no way for white to pin the beetle. It's pretty interesting. Although I'm afraid it's not... I'm afraid it's not enough, but... Okay, let's see. The idea is for the beetle here to have a journey and probably cover the mosquito and then the pillbug for good. And then getting in with the ladybug. Sorry. Here. Cover the pillbug. Then getting in one of the last spot. Maybe here. The problem of this here is that of filling this space is that the mosquito will get free. But still, black has got 3 grasshoppers in reserve, so maybe there's chances. And thanks, John, for the information. So Joe, aka Jewdoka, is based in South Dakota. I think SD, right? South Dakota. A 3.5 hour drive from Minneapolis, near the Lake Superior. And and yes, John confirmed that they have been playing a lot together, so they know each other's style quite a lot, and and probably this makes the match even more interesting. I'm very curious to understand what's like what kind of surprises they prepared. It seems Joe has prepared this game quite well. Simply because an attack very early was is normally unexpected, but it seemed to it seemed to be turned into a reasonable game. Um, so it doesn't seem too bad. Of course, White has still a good control, and if Alex manages to control everything properly and contain the attack, then it will clearly have a better end game. But we're still in the middle game. Only 34 moves have been played, 34 plies, so 17, 18 games per moves per player. And yeah, of course, Joe takes this pseudo pocket here. This was actually, I mean, okay, it was not hard to see before, but I guess it's something you don't consider very very easily. You don't think, oh, okay, there's gonna be a pseudo pocket there. Time control wise, Alex Aenorman has spent only 20 minutes thinking, while Jewdoka 26. I mean, 6 minutes difference could become a big difference. At the moment, they have both enough, I think. Joe has 12 minutes and Alex has got 18 minutes left on the clock, so it's pretty okay. But at some point, it could really a difference of 5-6 minutes, it could really become big. When you play with under a minute on the clock, it becomes hard to find the right move, especially if you're in the end game where there are lots of nuances and subtleties. Okay, so I guess now it's my turn to take a deep breath and go into this variation and see what can be done to prevent the plan I showed before. I mean, it's probably not the only plan, but I think is what I would be worried about if I would play white. I mean, after this move, right? What exactly is black threatening? Like, what's the plan seems a bit seems like fading away, right? Yeah, black has qualified for the win in a way, but he only has 3 grasshopper in reserve, so it becomes very complicated for black to win. I'm not saying it will be easy for white, because also black has pretty good defense, like pretty good position here, but I think psychology will play a big role here. They might play some moves that will throw the opponent off in a way. Or maybe, as I said at the beginning, maybe it's just that black is trying the best, so is going for something a bit more unusual and aggressive, and is confident to win with white pieces, or at least it's likely that would happen, but we'll see. They're probably playing a second game today as well, so let's see if they well, first of all, let's see how long it's going to take this game, because I'm afraid it's going to take a while. Thank you very much, John, for the information. By the way, if you really want to jump in at some point, I can add you, at least with the audio, and we can talk. We can chat a bit. I think it's more fun than for the audience. rather than just me talking by myself with this nasal voice. Oh, let me drink some water. Okay, I guess white has decided that black plan is not really dangerous, and I think all in all, white can throw the pillbug here even in a couple of moves, so there's always an escape, an emergency plan. Yeah, as Kamimub said, white defense is still very strong, especially because it can easily throw the pillbug in here and free the queen. I think that's the main idea. Now black has to decide. Let's assume this goes on. White can still throw the pillbug here. And now white escapes here. What about this? I don't... Yeah, I think now, how is black gonna win now? But something I'm missing, because it seems easy for white. Easy way to defend. Maybe black has some other option. Sorry. The problem is that black doesn't have a way to free this beetle. If black could free this beetle, that would be a bit closer to the queen and probably would work. Could work at least. What about this move? What about something like this? After this, of course, this move becomes not possible anymore, but this is still possible. And again, it seems quite okay for white. The problem is that this white ant is always free, and black has got this string of pieces that they're pretty bad. Okay, yeah, SD South Dakota. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure. You might be able to jump on quick. Okay, well, let me see a second. Oops. I need to put in my okay, let me update the position here. So black played this move, okay. Let me 1 second set up my headphones and OBS, because there's always, so the desktop audio is available, yeah. So if you wanna jump in on Discord, we can just be in a in a call. Yeah, maybe, yeah, wait, let me see. Or if you prefer another way, let me know. Okay, so I mean, again, I think this move would be okay. Oh, by the way, you're listening all the sounds that are you okay with the sounds, or should I cut them off? I can take them off, actually. I wasn't hearing the sounds because I wasn't with my headphones. After this, why this sound? I thought it would just click. No, let's take the sound away. I'm sorry, you've been listening to this for the whole time. Okay, wait, so something is happening. white is keeping control of the ladybug here. Okay, okay, things are going quickly. Well, the black ladybug could have cut off the white queen escape. I'm not sure, because then the queen could have been warped away by the pillbug anyway. Okay, they're playing quite quickly now, but yeah, I think it makes sense. Lol, yeah, I was I would say the same. What's going on? Okay, so the white queen is pretty safe. So I really don't see now a way for black to win. Of course, in the long term, everything can happen, but if Alex is sufficiently cautious and play accurately, he should be fine, and it should have good chances of winning. Sorry, I'm just checking. John is not on Discord, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll keep. Well, let me know. Okay, come in on Discord or call me on Discord. Sound is fine. Okay, so you like the sound when I move the pieces? I think it's a bit annoying actually. I took it off, but if I can put it back if you like. So this is gonna be a long end game. Take your popcorns, go for a walk and come back. Okay, so I would say the easiest move here is to. Okay, I guess he decided to put the queen in a safe position first, but I will say the easiest move here would be just to release the pressure, release the cover, sorry, on the black ant so that the beetle is free to move. But I guess he wants to be super safe and put the white queen here, because the white queen here is surrounded by two black pieces, so potentially if black could pin the queen, that would be easier to win. If white moves, oops, what's happening? Yeah, if white moves here, then it becomes hard. Discord, I will say Discord if you're okay with that. Call me on Discord. Just a voice. Because I don't know if I can put your face. I mean, unless you want, I can try to put a video as well. But anyway. Oh wow, okay, they went pretty quick. So black is still trying to go for a direct drop. So the idea was that after this, then black will have this 3 hopper around. I mean, still, it's not enough to win. You need 5 pieces. Oh no, wait, there's a spider here, so potentially could win. But white can just stop it, right? It can just play this. And now what is black gonna do? Not much. Yeah, maybe the other side was potentially better. Also with the idea of pinning the ant. But what? Oh, okay, this is a bit strange. I mean, white is just letting. I mean, okay, but it's probably fine, especially because white has got tempo as well. So white will have needs one move, two. No, wait, one, two with the other ant. One, two. Yeah, this spot is a bit harder to reach actually. But they're both playing quite quickly now, and they have more than 10 minutes. So
Hey, Fred.
hi John. Hello. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Fresco, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you,
Oh,
and
cool.
I hope everyone can hear you as well. I think so. Uh,
Awesome. Good
you
work so far. Thanks for doing this. It's fun to listen to your
thanks to you.
insights.
It's hard to do. Like I think you've been doing like commentary for Ultra for the frisbee competition or not? I kind of remember that you have
A couple of
experience
times
doing
I've done
that.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
I mean,
Um,
it's
I've joined Randy a couple times too, but never really.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a job sort of. You need to know how to do
Yeah.
it to entertain the audience.
Yeah.
But also because there are like with this time control, there's some dead time. I don't know how to say, like some time where nothing happens much, and you have to, unless you go in detail with all the variation, there's not much to say. So I try to
Right.
fill it with stories, but
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's very good to have your insight actually, because you know much better these players, and
Yeah.
as you said, they know each other very well in terms of style.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I can give you a little insight about this first round in that I so we've been training a lot, and um, we have a chat thread for the three of us, and we've been discussing various games, all the
mm-hmm,
way through the championships.
mm-hmm.
And
In the
talking
mean,
about openings, Joe's obviously very good at openings.
yeah, he prepares
Um,
very well
and
usually. By the way,
yeah,
while we talk, White has won. Alex has won the first game.
oh wow,
I
I
think
haven't even wasn't even looking.
I think Joe, yeah, at some point he just decided there was not much to do and just counterattack. Sorry, I interrupt you. Are you saying?
No, 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 that's exciting. I mean, it's a big deal for Alex. First of all, he's playing
Uh-huh.
so well. Like I gotta tell you, like I'm sure he would give Joe a lot of credit for that, but he is playing very, very well.
Oh
And like you
yeah,
said,
yeah,
his
yeah.
control.
The games with
It's
Happy
really,
Kiwi were great. Um,
yeah, yeah. And that was two control masters, and K Peeve as well. Both of those big tight games were all. I mean, that's like the control bracket right there. Those three guys really good at that. So,
yeah.
um, but just to give you a little insight before I have to run. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
that opening I, we didn't. They didn't discuss it obviously with each other because they wanted to sort of surprise each other. But I can basically guarantee that both of them were not surprised by each other's choice of opening, given how that played out.
Okay,
But
okay.
I can basically guarantee that Alex was surprised by Joe's quick counterattack. Like I can basically guarantee Alex paused there and went, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, but
So
I assume so. I mean, I think most of us were a bit surprised.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Um, but I don't know. I mean, Joe has come up before with some,
exactly.
unusual choices, and
Exactly.
especially aggressive. So
Yeah.
at some point, it seemed it was not too bad actually. It was like, okay, you can't win straight away. Of course, that would be too easy. But maybe you could get
Right.
the game into a different kind of control. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and well, and also Joe is such a strong player that anybody playing against him figures he must know something they don't know, right? So
Yeah, there's a psychological
there's like a
effect.
psychological advantage from that
Sure, sure,
that's
sure.
real. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, the other thing that's interesting, I think this is the first time Joe hasn't lost as white since the group stage of 22.
Oh yeah, Alex said that on Discord. And I think it was a
Yeah, I
game
mean,
against me.
right? Is that right? Oh, good. Nice.
which which made me very proud.
Yeah, good
But
job.
yeah, yeah, I mean as white is very, 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 very
Yeah,
reliable.
right. Well, and I think that part of Joe's aggression may have been a little bit of like, okay, Alex is playing so well,
Hmm.
I need to be a little bit more tricky or aggressive here
Yeah.
and see if I can put him off his game. I don't know. I haven't talked to
Yeah.
Joe obviously,
I
but
mean,
that
I especially against the buffer as white. I
right.
think the white buffer, I think it's very hard to find something really aggressive or
Yeah.
something that throws off the opponent in the early opening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess it was worth the shot.
Right. Um,
And now we'll see. They're probably not gonna
yeah.
play now, though. I think they said they're gonna play tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'll try if I'm up early enough to join you tomorrow, but I got to run now. I got a 5-year-old looking for playtime. So
It's okay, it's okay. Sorry. Thank you for joining a little bit. Let's see for tomorrow. I'm not sure if they play the same time or similar time.
I think they're going to play about the same time, but I'll
Okay.
confirm
Okay,
on
I'll
Discord with you
as
tomorrow.
well. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Want
you
to say
again.
hi? Hi.
Have a good
Hi.
day.
That's
Hello.
my 5-year-old.
Cute.
All right. Good night. See
Bye.
you soon.
Bye. Bye bye. Okay, so we have thank you, John, for joining me. We have seen a bit of how to master player deal with a match. Um, as John said as well, it was really surprising this very early attack. But I suppose Joe had prepared something. I mean, I'm sure he had prepared something, but maybe not enough. And at some point, he felt a bit behind, but he didn't want to stop. But I think even here, uh, this move would have been a bit better. And then if the game continues on the same line as before, I, it's not actually too bad. No, actually, the spider here first. I think black is okayish. Or at least it becomes very hard for black for white to win. It will take a lot of moves. It will be a long end game. So I think yeah, Joe was a bit greedy, or maybe just I don't know, maybe just thought he was worth to try something aggressive. But okay, I'll update you about tomorrow. I think tomorrow they're not gonna play a second game now, so they're probably playing tomorrow similar time as we said. Let me check on the board space page. And yeah, well, they didn't confirm the time, but similar time. Okay, thank you very much for following, guys. I appreciate very much, and I probably stream tomorrow as well if I feel okay. And let's see what now. Joe is gonna have 2 whites in a row, so good chances that he will pull out at least 1 point, and probably 2. Let's see what kind of opening choices. I expect Alex to go for a sort of buffer as well. Similar, basically the same setup you play as white. You can play it as black, and of course as black is always a little bit more difficult, but